Literally, this is more pricey than the gym equipment I bought. Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope 2023 is treating you well. My name is Mels and today we're going to be reviewing the newest Dior palette, the 10 pan one, and it's the spring collection. Spring's not here yet, but you know makeup, we always go above and beyond, right? This literally just came in the mail. This had a very nice luxurious ribbon. I love purchasing directly from Dior because the experience is always luxurious, so it is worth, you are getting your money's worth even from the simplest things like shipping, which came just 2 days, or the packaging, the box, everything. So let's just unbox this together. And we will be reviewing the palette as well, maybe trying it out as blush as well. And if you're interested, please keep on watching. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. It's appreciated. It takes just 0.2 seconds and then you will just have more makeup content on your feed. I already opened this because I had to check if the palette was safe and it wasn't destroyed, okay? So I also was very curious. So they included some samples here. It smells great. This is for men, so I will give it to my boyfriend. This is Miss Dior sample, and this is the pack. This is ripped because that's my fault. But when you open this, you have the palette, which is actually very big. I didn't think it would have been this big. I thought it was a bit smaller, and I'm very pleased with that because this palette, let me tell you about this palette, okay? This palette cost me $156. Literally, this is more pricey than the gym equipment I bought, and that is gym equipment, which I'm going to be using every day. So does this talk about me being careless with my money or about Dior just having crazy prices, okay? The weirdest thing is that I bought this online from the official Dior in the UAE website, but I also found out that the prices are a bit different from website to website. For example, Harrods has this at 116, and I found it somewhere else for 130. I just don't understand why it's so inconsistent. I had the rough end of the stick, but hopefully it will be great and I won't regret it. I didn't know it had this packaging. I should have guessed since this was all over the website page, but I find this is very nice. It looks like one of their bags, and it is actually a different type of material. This is not plastic, if you can hear it. I think it's nice. Some people may find it tacky. I don't really mind, and even if I found it tacky, I wouldn't care because this just will sit in my vanity, so nobody will have to see it. Here's how the palette looks. This is very, very springy, so it makes sense that it's part of the spring collection. But the main reason why I got this is, one, I really like pink makeup on me. I feel like it complements me very well, but I was also very drawn to this side here, this quad, which is very, very deep, and I feel like in the quads I have from Dior there isn't so much depth, so I was very interested in this, and I'm definitely going to be trying this for a more smoky look. So yeah, stay tuned for that. This is what the website says about the palette. It's the Dior Short 10 Color Eye Makeup Palette. Features a wardrobe of 10 eyeshadows that can be mixed and matched for high color, long wear makeup, from the most natural to the most intense look, which I agree. Definitely day side and the night side here. Each eyeshadow reveals a creamy texture that enhances the lids with shades in matte and satiny finishes with buildable intensity. So this doesn't have any metallic or, very particularly shiny shades. In fact, At first, I even thought this was just all mattes, but I can see that there's some shimmers in a few shades here. So let's just get into the swatches. This is so beautiful. I almost don't want to touch it, but we will have to do that. Let's swatch the first quad and this small triangle here, and then the second quad with that shade there. So this is the first shade. It is a pale champagne with a satin finish. There's a bit of pink to it, which makes sense for the overall palette. The second shade is definitely more pink. This also is a satin, but it's less satin, it has less pearls than this one. This shade here in the pan reminds me of a sort of NARS Orgasm shade. It is definitely more warm than this one. If the lighting is changing, it's because I'm still testing. The next one is definitely brighter, still a satin though. Yeah, and you can definitely see this is more like a cherry blossom type of shade. This white here also has a slight sheen, but nothing too noticeable. On to the next quad, we have from the get-go something that's definitely more pigmented. This is the shade in the middle, so the triangle, beautiful. The pigment here, I think I was watching it bad, but there's definitely a lot of pigment, so they weren't wrong in the description when they said there's a lot of pigment. This shade is more like a rosy brown. Yeah, it's watching patchy, but it's my fault. I'm definitely doing a bad job, but I can feel this is very smooth to the touch. Then we have a sort of plummy shade, which, I mean, these are the colors that I live for. So, and the next one, even better, it's a burgundy in the pan. Let's see if it's a burgundy here as well. Yep. Do you see how pigmented this is? This is definitely something I wasn't expecting from Dior, so I'm very excited. And let's see them on the eyes. I'm going to do a day look and a night look. I'm going to start with the day look. I will be using this champagne one as a base. This won't show up as much because, I mean, it's a pale champagne. I don't have a primer, I just have some foundation on my eye, but actually I can definitely see the shimmer particles here. You can see the sheen it gave me. Then I'm going in the next shade, which is this pinky shade, and I'm using this in the crease. Yeah, this definitely shows up more, but it's still a very delicate shade. It is giving me a pinkish tint, but not a lot. I'm guessing it's because one, there's the shade underneath, and two, it's very similar to my skin tone. Let's actually make things brighter with this one here. Yeah, these are very, very soft. I feel like on camera they are even more pigmented than they are in real life. These satiny shades are very soft, so if you're looking for just a wash of color like this, then this is the part of the palette that's for you. I still want to see how hard I can push this, but I'm going to use a matte this time. So these are very pigmented, so I'm going to just dip my brush really quick like this and applying it in the outer corner. Yeah, this is a lot of pigment, so I have to be very careful with this, but I love the tone. Again, it reminds me of the cherry blossoms in Japan, which is a perfect shade for spring. I don't want to go any further with this eye because it's a day look, so I'm just blending this and making sure everything is seamless. And then maybe on the lid, I just want to try this white one with my finger. This seems to be the most crumbly shade of them all. So let's see what it does on the lid. Okay, so it is showing up. So this brought a bit of brightness, and I'm just blending it. And that's it. This is all I want to do here. Let's go to the lower lash line. I'm just dipping again in the brightest satin shade I used. And I'm bringing this on the lower lash line. The champagne shade closer to my inner corner for that touch of sheen that will still bring some attention to my eyes and open them up. This is it for this eye. I just want to apply some eyeliner in pencil. This is a ColourPop black pencil, and I won't do much of an eyeliner. I don't want to do a wing. I just want to define my eyelashes. So this is it for this eye. I think it's very cute. What do you think of it? And but yeah, that's not what I picked up this palette for. Let me tell you. So I'm going to be trying the more pigmented ones on this eye for a nighttime look. Is this camera too close? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. So for this eye, I want to start with this plummy shade here, and I'm taking this directly on my lid close to my lash line because I want to build up a smoky eye. Yeah, this is very, very pigmented and I love it. I think this is great also because it is more inclusive, like all skin tones can enjoy this palette. And I'm going to be using a technique that I learned in makeup school, which is you apply the most amount of pigment close to your lash line. I'm using the wrong brush, but so don't follow me, but you can do this with a more detailed brush. And then as the brush has less and less pigment because you have deposited it, you just bring it up very slowly to your crease. So this is the base for my smoky eye. I want it to be more intense, so I'm picking up a flat brush like this and going into the same shade. I'm going to be using the same technique, so pigment here in the center where I want the shade to be, you know, the main character. This plummy shade also has a slight sheen, but it's very, very slight. And yeah, it mostly looks like a matte, but it looks more elegant on the eye because of the sheen. And I keep building the color until I'm satisfied with how it looks, which I am now. So now I will go into this burgundy shade here, because I still want this to have some depth and different, you know, different shades. I'm not too worried about the blending at this point because I'm just depositing the color and creating my shape. So I'm bringing this burgundy a bit further in. This eye is also my droopy eye. This tends to fall. So I'm creating a false crease, meaning I just deposit the color where I want it to be seen, almost as if my crease was here when it's actually below. So I'm going back into a blending brush. This doesn't have any pigment, so I'm just blending everything. Since I want it to be even more seamless in the blending, I'm going to be going into this white, and I'm not taking too much, just a tiny bit and tapping it off, and I'm using this just here on the edge. And from the first quad, I'm picking up this more bright shade on the blender brush, and I'm also using this to blend. I'm sorry, there's just a lot of noise. For the lower lash line, I'm using the same shade, so I'm going in purplish shade I used over my lid, and I'm using this here. Then in the burgundy, I used to deepen it here in the other corner as well. This is it. I'm going to be doing an eyeliner definitely for this type of look, and some mascara. We'll try to use this as a blush. Alright, so here's the finished looks for the eyes. I'm loving them. Honestly, I had no problem with the shades, but I wasn't expecting anything else from Dior. I mean, if this palette was as good as the Quince, I knew I would have loved it, and this is the good Dior quality. Lucky me, because $160. Let's see if we can use these shades as blushes as well. So I'm going to be trying, what do I want to try? Alright, I want to try these two here as a blush for this eye look. Yeah, I know, maybe the pen is a bit too small for a blush. I mean, this is even bigger than the standard eyeshadow pen size, so I think they had this blush thing in mind when they chose this. So I'm picking up these shades here. There is a bit of white that will go into this, I think, but should be fine. And let's see how it applies on my face. Yeah, I think you can see it better on camera than I can in real life, because it's so gray and cloudy today. But yeah, this applies very nicely as a blush, and it complements the eye look perfectly. I think it's a slightly bit too cool tone for the eye look, so I'm also going into this one, this more peachy one here, to try and bring some warmth here as well. And here we are. The blush looks, I think it looks lovely. I'm more scared about the mattes, so I need to be very careful. I have just used my Sigma pad to take away the pigment from this brush, and I need to be very careful, so I'm just tapping very, very slightly. I think this might be a bit too deep for my skin tone, but this is just, we're just playing, and yeah, you can already see it is very deep and it is very pigmented, as it just like it behaved on my eyes. But maybe I can make it work. Yeah, I definitely made this work. And yeah, again, a bit too far down, but that's what happens when you have a very small face. And yeah, I like this. Let's see, just last thing, I want to see if I can use these shades as eyeliners. So I'm going into this champagne-y one here for the day eye look. It is working. By the way, this is seems very shiny on camera because there's a lot of lights, but it is also because I tapped into the sheeny side of the palette. But look at this glow. Wow, okay, that's a lot of glow. That's a lot, but I like it. I'm going into the more cool tone pink on this side here because I feel like this needs something more intense. Yeah, because it's already too tame. Yeah, here's how this side looks and how this side looks. I love this. Do I say I love this in every video? No, actually I have a lot of videos where I don't like products, so don't come for me. Okay, so we've played enough. Final thoughts. I think if you watched the video up to now, you know what the verdict is going to be. This palette is amazing. The quality is incredible. It is very versatile. And yeah, you can throw this in your, well, don't throw this because it's expensive, but you can use this for travel, and you have blushes, highlighters, you have eyeshadow. This has a lot. Of course, you're just gonna end up with some pink looks, but I mean, in spring, you can do that. Actually, you can do that whenever you want, but still, if you like those, yeah, I think I tried every shade here except for this brownish one here and this one here, and everything worked great. This side here is sheeny, and I mean, it is very sheeny on my cheek, but not so much in my eyes, so it definitely gives a more softer look. And this part here is very pigmented, and I'm very happy about it. But everything blends very nice, it's seamless. The shades are very elegant on the eyes, because even these ones that look more matte, they have a very slight undetectable sheen that reflects the light a bit, so it has a satin finish, and it looks great on the eyes. The quality of this palette is definitely worth it if you want to spend so much on an eyeshadow, blush, face palette, I don't know. And the packaging is very nice. I think this is a hit from Dior, which is not the standard, unfortunately. Dior can be hit and miss, I've heard. Lucky for me, I've always been in the hits, but that just means I chose wisely. I don't know. Anyways, this is great, and yeah, it costs exactly $6 more than a gym equipment machine I bought. But yeah, I don't regret this. Okay, I don't. Let me know what you think of this palette in the comments below. Just let me know what do you think about the price. I feel like it's kind of normal, because I mean the quins from Dior are about $60, so it makes sense that this is around 120. But you know, not everybody wants to spend that much on an eyeshadow slash face palette, and I understand that. So let me know what you think in the comments, and if you like it, or if you will be purchasing or not. And hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Remember to subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.